often in college...
I didn't start yet. Okay.
How often in college do you find yourself struggling to pay your bills or any other expenses due to lack of cash? Well, poor college kid is both a running joke and a very real archetype. Tuition alone creates a need for budgeting, as the Washington Post and Debt.org have both recorded student debt increasing to the tune of $1.2 trillion. Today, I want to teach you about how budgeting is important for a college student and the steps you can take to do it successfully. I have struggled with money my whole life. My freshman year, I came into college with more money than I had ever had. And that was due to graduation expenses and gifts and scholarships, and I'd worked all summer, so I really finally had somewhat of a decent bank account, but I had no idea how to spend it. So by the end of my first semester, almost all that money was gone, and my entire second semester was spent asking my parents for money. And so I've really had to learn how to budget to be successful in my personal life. And I know almost every college student also struggles with money, and that is just the nature of the game. So today, I want to teach you some great skills to be able to budget and why that's important. So first, let's talk about student debt and expenses. According to the 2018 article in the Washington Post titled "Where Student Debt is a Real Problem, Student Debt has nearly doubled since the Great Recession." This obviously affects a great number of people. 2018 article on bestcolleges.com titled "Budgeting 101" says that the average student takes out $35,000 in loans. This is a crazy, insane number. It only gets worse when it comes to graduate students. And to put this in perspective, $35,000 buys you a brand new car. So with tuition expenses they are, it can be hard for students to have any spendable income as much as going to their tuition. Other expenses can be social costs, just going out to concerts, going out to the bars, buying new clothes, just having fun. Having fun is really important as college students. But, we gotta learn to budget. And I know you may not be hurting because of tuition, with scholarships, but just these expenses alone can really make your life stressful without budgeting. So a way to be able to have some flexible spending is to budget. So why budgeting is important? According to bestcolleges.com, college students are highly susceptible to overspending. As I said before, I was guilty of this. This is especially true when it comes to first-year students who are just getting out from under their parents' nest. They're out on their own for the first time. It can be hard for all ages, so it's especially hard for somebody who just turned 18, is in college for the first time. If they don't know how to budget properly, they may rely on their parents, asking them for money, pay my phone bill, can I have an extra $100 here and there? For some families, that can be really hard. So that's why budgeting is an effective way to take away stress away from this. Plus, as college students, it's time we transition out from our parents and became able to be self-sufficient and take care of ourselves. Budgeting is a great place to start with that. According to a 2018 article on federalstudentaid.com, budgeting is the most effective way of reaching your financial goals and keeps you on track. Along with this, it's important to have short-term and long-term goals, financially and otherwise. This is good. Budgeting can help you meet this, and especially your short-term goals can just be paying for your phone bill. Your long-term goals can be just paying your student debts. Over time, as I said before, student debt has grown tremendously in the past 2 decades. It's almost, it's almost $1.2 trillion now. So, budgeting is a good way of meeting those goals and removing the stress associated with them. And it's just a good way to be able to balance your social life, your job, and your school. Just knowing where your money is and how it's going is really, really helpful to relieving stress and being a good budgeter. Effective ways to cut down your expenses. First off, you got to figure out what your disposable income is. How much you're coming in per month, how much you're getting from your parents, or you're working a job. All these are important factors. According to a 2017 article from NerdWallet.com titled "Budgeting for College Students: Where to Start," having a conversation with your parents is an essential first step when it comes to budgeting. A key factor is not letting money be a taboo subject. You need to be able to have a conversation with your parents, and money makes many people uncomfortable, but it's important to have that communication, be able to talk about money with your parents. It's just crucial. And it may be uncomfortable, but you need to have it because that's the first step. Then you need to determine what all your necessity costs are. This is the priority. This is where the majority of your budget is going to go. You need to figure out what bills you have every month. What do you need to just function and survive? You need school supplies, textbooks, groceries. You need seasonal clothing like a new coat. All these things are crucial to determine what your necessity costs are. And any money left over is discretionary funds. This is what you can use as you please. This is important because we all like to have fun. College is a stressful time. And being able to have fun is a great way to let loose, be able to focus on something else than just the crazy papers that you have to write, the speeches that you have to record. and just be able to, relax and have fun. Budgeting can help you out with that because you can determine what money you can spend. Because the other thing is if you're too stressful and you spend money that you don't have, this is going to create a bunch more problems. So it's really important that you know what you can and can't spend with your discretionary funds. It's also really nice to give yourself little rewards along the way if you have that extra money, to reward yourself for making a budget, for getting an A on this. It's all good. And once you have your expenses listed out, you simply have to decide what you can spend per week, per month, et cetera, et cetera. Moving on, just building a budget, building your short-term and long-term goals. It's a simple concept, and it always helps to keep padding your bank account with a job. So I do suggest having a job because that can really help. That way you're not just spending all your money, you have some money coming into your budget. It makes everything easier so you can have the rewards and fun like I said before. Just knowing where your money is going and how much of it you're spending is crucial to the main point of budgeting. And once, like I said before, once you have a budget, your life can be incredibly less stressful. Something I said earlier, like it's successful with the long-term goals. The average amount of student debt people are coming out with has increased tremendously. It's almost up to $40,000 per student coming in. First student came in 2015, like I did. Again, that's why it's important to budget, so you can build your short-term goals to pay off your long-term goals with your student debt. So, in conclusion, I hope you've learned a little bit more about budgeting today and how it can help you organize your life and achieve your goals. To cut down the weight of your debt and help you be financially independent, it's important to build a budget and know what you cannot and can spend. Having a budget will make you the independent adult you crave to be and help you get out of your parents' nests. Remember that next time you want a Domino's pizza or those new shoes, think about having the money or you'll increase your debt to the tune of $1.2 trillion. Thank you.